Let us continue with the chapter. Now we will start with peninsular rivers. The main water divide in peninsular India is formed by the Western Ghats. Major rivers of the peninsula such as Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and the Kaveri, they flow eastwards and drain into the Bay of Bengal. Whereas on the other hand, the river Narmada and river Tapi are the two long rivers which flow west and make estuaries. Let us see the movement of some of the important rivers on this map. As here you can see that river Narmada, which rises from this part, that means from the Madhya Pradesh, and it moves towards the western side and flows towards Arabian Sea, and here it drains in the Arabian Sea. At its mouth, the river Narmada forms an estuary. The other river which flows towards the western side is river Tapi, which is just below river Narmada, and it rises in Maharashtra and it flows towards the western direction, and parallel to river Narmada it also falls in Arabian Sea. It also falls in Arabian Sea, and river Tapi also makes an estuary. The other rivers of Peninsular India, or you can say the South India, rest all rivers flow towards the east direction, and while flowing towards the east direction, they form delta. Let us start from the southern part of India, river Kaveri, which rises in Kerala, and it moves towards the eastern direction and form the delta here in Tamil Nadu. The other river, that is Krishna, which rises in Karnataka, Maharashtra. Not Karnataka, it rises in Maharashtra, this point, and it moves towards the eastern side and it drains the whole of the Karnataka as well as the Andhra Pradesh and forms the delta in Andhra Pradesh, and it flows in Bay of Bengal. One of the important tributary of river Krishna is river Tungabhadra, which rises here in this part and drains towards the river Krishna and meets river Krishna here, and together they both drain in Bay of Bengal. The other important river, that is the river Godavari. River Godavari, which is also referred as the Dakshin Ganga. It rises in Maharashtra and it is the longest peninsular river. It is also called as an Dakshin Ganga. It rises from Maharashtra and drains towards the eastern side of India, and it falls in Bay of Bengal. It forms the delta in Andhra Pradesh. The other river of the east flowing rivers is river Mahanadi. The movement or the flow of river Mahanadi, which most of the part is in Odisha, and it drains here towards the Bay of Bengal. It forms the delta in Odisha. So these you can see the important rivers which you will study in this chapter. Now let us continue with the detailed description of these rivers, some more important aspects of these peninsular rivers. Narmada Basin. The source of Narmada Basin is the Amarkantak Hills in Madhya Pradesh. It flows towards the west in a rift valley formed due to faulting. All the tributaries of the Narmada are very short, and most of these join the main stream at right angles. The Narmada Basin covers parts of Madhya Pradesh as well as Gujarat. The other west flowing river is river Tapi. The river Tapi rises in the Satpura range in the Betul district of Madhya Pradesh. It also flows in a rift valley parallel to the river Narmada, but it is much shorter in length in comparison to Narmada. Its basin covers the parts of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, and Maharashtra. And other west flowing rivers, some other important west flowing rivers are like Sabarmati, Mahi, Bharatpuzha, Periyar, etc. The Godavari basin or the Godavari river. The Godavari is the largest peninsular river. It rises from the slopes of the Western Ghats in the Nasik district of Maharashtra. Its length is about 1500 kilometers. It drains into the Bay of Bengal. Its drainage basin is also the largest among the peninsular rivers. The basin covers parts of Maharashtra. About 50% of the basin area lies in Maharashtra. Beside that, it covers the areas of Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, and Andhra Pradesh. The Godavari is joined by a number of tributaries such as the Purna, the Vardha, the Pranhita, the Manjara, the Vainganga, and the Penganga. The last three tributaries are very large. Which last three tributaries? Like the Manjara, the Vainganga, and the Penganga. Because of its length and the area it covers, it is also called as an Dakshin Ganga. The Godavari basin or the Godavari river is also called as an Dakshin Ganga. You can see the flow of river Godavari. It drains the state of Maharashtra. It rises from the Nasik district of Maharashtra, drains the state of Maharashtra, and through Telangana it enters in Andhra Pradesh and makes the delta here in Andhra Pradesh. It falls in Bay of Bengal. The other important river of the peninsular plateau or among the peninsular rivers is the Mahanadi. The Mahanadi rises in the highlands of Chhattisgarh. It flows through Odisha to reach the Bay of Bengal. The length of the river is about 860 kilometers. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. This you can see the movement of river Mahanadi. River Mahanadi is only having the longest dam of the world, that is the Hirakud Dam. That dam is built on the river Mahanadi only, and here river Mahanadi makes its delta. It drains in Bay of Bengal. The Krishna Basin. Krishna Basin rising from a spring near Mahabaleshwar. The Krishna flows for about 1400 kilometers and reaches the Bay of Bengal. The Tungabhadra, the Koyana, and Ghatprabha, the Musi and Bhima are some of its tributaries. Its drainage basin is shared by Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Andhra Pradesh. So already informed the originating point of river Krishna and its movement towards the eastern side, and it drains in Bay of Bengal, making the delta in Andhra Pradesh. Its tributary, one of the important tributaries is river Tungabhadra. The Kaveri Basin. The Kaveri rises in the Brahmagiri range of the Western Ghats and it reaches the Bay of Bengal in south of Kuddalur in Tamil Nadu. The total length of this river is about 760 kilometers. Its main tributaries are Amravati, Bhavani, Hemavati, and Kabini. Its basin drains parts of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. The river Kaveri makes the second biggest waterfall in India, which is known as the Jog Fall. The hydroelectric power generated from the falls is supplied to Mysore, Bangalore, and the Kolar gold fields also. Beside these rivers, there are some other smaller rivers flowing towards the east. That is, the Damodar, the Brahmini, the Bhaitarni, and the Subarnarekha are some of the notable rivers which flow towards the Bay of Bengal. Here, the movement of river Kaveri and it makes the delta in Tamil Nadu. Let us continue with the next topic of the chapter, that is the lakes. You may be familiar with the Valley of Kashmir and the famous Dal lakes, the houseboats and the shikaras, which attract thousands of tourists every year. So, India has many lakes which differ from each other in the size and other characteristics. Most lakes are permanent, while some contain water only during the rainy season. Some of the lakes are the result of action of glaciers and ice sheets, while the others have been formed by wind, river action, and the human activities. A meandering river across a floodplain forms the cut-off lakes that later developed into oxbow lakes. Various types of lakes are like the natural lakes, and the natural lakes consist of freshwater lake as well as the saltwater lake, and the second category you can make it the artificial lakes. Most of the freshwater lakes are in the Himalayan region. They are formed when glaciers dug out a basin which was later filled with the snow melt. The Wular Lake in Jammu and Kashmir is the result of the tectonic activity, which is the largest freshwater lake in India. Some other important freshwater lakes are like the Dal Lake, the Bhimtal Lake, the Nainital Lake, Loktak Lake, the Barapani Lake, etc. So, the largest freshwater lake, Wular Lake, which is there in Jammu and Kashmir. You can see the marking of Wular Lake here in Jammu and Kashmir. This is marked as a Wular Lake, and this is the largest freshwater lake of India. This you can see the scenic beauty of this Wular Lake, which is also you can say the beautiful scene, a tourist place also. The saltwater lake or the saline lake is a landlocked body of water that has a concentration of salts and other dissolved minerals significantly higher than most lakes. The Sambar Lake, which is there in Rajasthan, is India's largest inland saltwater lake. It is located 80 kilometers 50 miles southwards of the city of Jaipur and 64 kilometers northeast of Ajmer, Rajasthan. It surrounds the historical Sambar Lake town. The other form of saltwater lake are also referred as lagoons. Lagoons are shallow bodies of water separated from the ocean by sandbars, barrier islands, or the coral reef. The examples of the lagoon lakes are the Chilika Lake, the Pulicat Lake, and the Kolluru Lake. Artificial lakes. The damming of the rivers for the generation of hydropower has also led to the formation of lakes. And some of the important artificial lakes are like Guru Gobind Sagar Lake, Nizam Sagar, Nagarjun Sagar, etc. And here, children, you can see the various saltwater lakes as well as the freshwater lakes and the lagoons lakes also. Chilika Lake, it is marked here. This sea cut which is seen on the map, that is the Chilika Lake. Pulicat Lake, you can see here in at the border of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Here is the Pulicat Lake. Sambar Lake, you will mark it here in Rajasthan. This point you will mark as an Sambar Lake. Wooler Lake, already you have marked the freshwater lake in Jammu and Kashmir. This point you will mark as an Wooler Lake. What is the importance of lakes? Lakes help to regulate the flow of a river. During heavy rainfall, it prevents flooding, and during the dry season, it helps to maintain an even flow of water. Lakes also are used for developing hydropower. Lakes moderate the climate of the surroundings. Lakes also maintain the aquatic ecosystem. Lakes enhance the natural beauty even, and they help in developing tourism and providing recreational activities also. Role of the rivers in the economy. How the rivers are beneficial for any of the economy. Rivers have been of fundamental importance throughout the human history, and the water from the rivers is a basic natural resource which is very essential for the various human activities. Therefore, the river banks are attracted by the settlers from the ancient times. These settlements have now become big cities. Using rivers for irrigation, navigation, hydropower generation is of special significance, particularly to a country like India, where agriculture is the major source of livelihood of the majority of its population. Although rivers are very important, but then too the rivers have been polluted. The growing domestic, municipal, industrial, and agricultural demand for water from rivers naturally affects the quality of water. As a result, more and more water is being drained out of the rivers, reducing their volume. And on the other hand, a heavy load of untreated sewage and industrial effluents are emptied into the rivers. This affects not only the quality of water but also the self-cleansing capacity of the river. The Ganga water is able to dilute and assimilate pollution loads within 20 kilometers of large cities. But the increasing urbanization and industrialization do not allow it to happen, and the pollution level of the many rivers has been rising. So, concern over the rising pollution in our rivers led to the launching of various action plans to clean the river. National River Conservation Plan (NRCP) have been introduced by the government. So what are the various features of this Ganga Action Plan or NRCP, National River Conservation Plan? The activities of the Ganga Action Plan, Phase 1, initiated in 1985, were declared closed on 31st March 2000. The Steering Committee of the National River Conservation Authority reviewed the progress of the GAP Ganga Action Plan and necessary corrections on the basis of lessons learned and experiences gained from the GAP Phase 1. These have been applied to the major polluted rivers of the country under the NRCP. The Ganga Action Plan Phase 2 has been merged with the NRCP, and the expanded NRCP now covers 152 towns located along 27 interstate rivers in 16 states. Under this action plan, pollution abatement works have been taken up in 57 towns. A total of 215 schemes of the pollution abatement have been sanctioned. So far, 69 schemes have been completed under this action plan. 1 million liters of sewage is targeted to be intercepted, diverted, and treated. So, with the help of the government steps, with the help of National River Conservation Plan, the steps have been taken by the government to clean the rivers. So here we wind up with the chapter.